there's no Dorian Yates, you probably have Shawn Ray as a Mr. Olympia. You probably have a Flex Wheeler. Dorian changed the game. He ushered in the mass monsters.
The guy that motivated me the most, if any of them, would be Shawn Ray, just because he had a big mouth, and he used to irritate me.
Dorian Yates, for me, was the only thing that mattered. He was the guy. He was the reason I was lifting weights. He was getting me out of bed every day, trying to dethrone the champion.
Out of all the Olympia contenders that you was competing against, who did you really dislike the most? That you so much so that you really wanted to punch him?
Well, you know, it's not a boxing match, so I'm not going around punching people, but I think it was friction between me and Shawn Ray, definitely, because we were total opposites, I felt, in our approach.
I wanted Dorian Yates to know I was there. I didn't accept him as the best built man in the world, and he was going to have to deal with me. And we didn't like each other. And we didn't like each other because we were apples and oranges.
There's a few poses that even if I'm a bit off, I can't be beaten in. I can't be beaten in the front lat spread, the back lat spread, the back double bicep, and the side tricep.
How come Paul Dilett or Shawn Ray doesn't win, or Kevin Levrone, or these guys? Because to me, they looked like they had outrageous body parts that just had more flow to the physique. When Dorian came out, I said, this is why he wins. It was so crazy in person.
I mean, Dorian win the Olympia and he'd disappear and show up on that Olympia stage as a nightmare for some of us. I mean, because he just kept getting bigger.
We're as different as night and day. I mean, there's nothing similar in Dorian and myself.
Yates was the embodiment of brutal efficiency, blood and guts training, hardcore execution, and a monk-like obsession with improvement. Ray represented the classical ideal: proportion, polish, presentation. He believed bodybuilding was art. Yates believed it was war.
You didn't think that you could bring it back in?
No, I mean, it's something you can pull off just once in a lifetime, maybe a hairstyle like this. You can't do it twice.
If I had to go down memory lane and talk about my life and times living in the shadow, better known as Dorian Yates, that would take us all the way back to 1989, and where I was a guest poser, and an unknown bodybuilder to me by the name of Dorian Yates would be a co-guest poser, or a warm-up act, so to speak. I was guest posing out there. Dorian came in as a guest poser right around like 300 and something pounds. I think he was like the biggest thing that everybody had seen at that time. Wasn't in shape, but he was obviously a work in progress.
I don't know if I told anybody, but I told myself if I didn't place in the top 5 in that contest, I wouldn't compete again, because it wouldn't be worth all that.
At the New York Night of Champions in 1990, in second place was Dorian Yates.
Because I would say, if I can't make the top 5, and I've given it my best shot, then that tells me I'm not good enough to really do this. Yeah? Dorian Yates, Mr. Olympia, never would have existed if I hadn't got top 5 in that contest.
So fast forward into 1991. I'd come the Arnold Classic champion for the second year in a row.
And the winner is Shawn Ray.
I knew it. He looks fantastic. He really deserves to win this competition.
And we would head straight to Orlando, Florida. As we got closer to the event, it was clear people were talking about Dorian Yates and Lee Haney, and not so much about Shawn Ray. I didn't take offense to it yet until we were backstage. And as I turned, I could see the shadow. I saw the back of Dorian Yates, which was more impressive than Lee Haney's at the time. You couldn't deny Dorian's grainy, big, dense, thick calves, and of course, Dorian Yates served notice.
Take it to the second place winner, Dorian Yates.
This was Lee Haney's final Mr. Olympia appearance, as he retired after winning 8 consecutive titles. The next year, a new champion would be crowned.
Mr. Olympia was wide open that year. I'll never forget it. It was wide open in 1992.
This is a time when they didn't have the internet. They didn't have Twitter. They didn't have Facebook. They didn't have cell phones.
I don't think I was seriously thinking about being Mr. Olympia. I just wanted to be a good pro, and that's as far as my thinking was going at that time.
And it became very real to me in 1990, getting third in that Olympia, that I would one day become Mr. Olympia, because there's no way Lee Haney can last that much longer. Unfortunately for me, I didn't see the shadow coming?
Oh, definitely. I think it's really been an advantage for me to train in England. The Americans, they seem to be quite complacent and laid back, especially with their training. You know, whenever I go to America to train over there, it seems like I never see anybody really training very hard in the gyms, where back in England, I think there's more of a working type ethic. The guys in the gym are really going for it and really training hard and everything. But I think there's a lot more heart and a lot more guts. I think they had it a little bit too easy in the States, and that's maybe why now you're getting a lot of European bodybuilders coming up and beating the guys from the States.
"1992 wasn't just a competition. They didn't realize it here yet, but everyone witnessed a turning point.
There was a whole bunch of guys that could have possibly won the title, so
he wasn't he wasn't in my sights. None of us were thinking about him, right? You know, and it's maybe that's why they call him the Shadow. He just crept up on us.
You know, Yates is often blamed for taking the sport in the wrong direction. But what he was doing what he knew he had to do to win, and hardness and mass seemed to be the criteria, the calling cards.
Well, in 1992, of course, Dorian Yates won his first Mr. Olympia in Helsinki, Finland.
Here we go, a new Mr. Olympia will be crowned tonight. In 6th place, Vince Taylor. In 5th place, Mohammed Benaziza. 4th place, give it to Shawn Ray. Now there are 3.
The evolution of bodybuilding changed when Dorian came into the scene.
3rd place award, the Sandow bronze medal, Levrone.
That I had outgrown the sport, and the sport had outgrown me. You know, the guys had gotten so big, you know, that it was just time for me to turn the chapter.
2nd place. That goes to Kevin Levrone.
This is my dream, a dream that's come true. You know, I owe so much to the sport of bodybuilding, and I hope as Mr. Olympia I can give back to the sport.
So you had the more symmetrical and classical type physique. You know, you had a number of guys that were threatening that standard, okay? But that was squelched. Again, we were at a crossroads, and the crossroads went the other way. Again, back to the past, to the large bodybuilder in the incarnation of Dorian Yates this time, and it has never looked back.
And we moved on to 1993.
So I was 31 years old. No injuries, fucking animal machine, like everything went well, and that physique that I presented in 1993 was a fucking quantum leap forward for bodybuilding. Like as far as muscle mass combined with condition, nobody had ever seen anything like that. And it was like, yeah, okay, this guy from England's won one, but all the Americans are like, yeah, one of our boys next year could take him, yeah? If you get ready for a competition, it doesn't matter, like, as perfect as you do it, to get to that extreme level of which I was, super low body fat, that kind of condition, you've lost some muscle as well to get in that condition, yeah? And I had a great year of training, probably put on 6 or 7 pounds of muscle. As a Mr. Olympia, that's, anyway, outstanding. So, although I was known as a mass monster, I didn't really like that term because I was not just trying to be as big as I could be. was trying to be as big combined with being shredded as well. So I could have potentially been on stage a lot bigger and heavier, but I wanted to have the conditioning like a lightweight. Basically, I wanted to look like a massive walking anatomy chart. That's what I achieved.
257 pounds of hardcore muscle. From England, the reigning Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates.
And no one argued with Dorian's win in 1993.
Shawn Ray.
And first place for the second year in a row. From England, Dorian Yates.
I'm now thinking, holy crap, this guy's won 2 Mr. Olympias. What's it going to take?
With the arrival of 1994, the Yates era entered its first true storm. This was the year of his most significant setback, the torn bicep.
And I was as best as I could be. But 4 weeks before the show, word got out that Dorian Yates had torn his bicep.
I tore my bicep 6 weeks before '94 Olympia. I was just trying to push myself and train too heavy, too near to the show. That was, if I could go back in time, I would change that. My problem was never being motivated or pushing myself. My problem was willing to back off and take it a little bit easier.
Well, a lot of people, they would pull out of a show, whether it be an amateur, pro, or Mr. Olympia, if they tore a bicep. Did that ever come into your head at any point?
Absolutely, it came into my head. I had just made the biggest impact in the sport in '93. In '94, I got injured and I was thinking it's all over. Like, my whole career, everything's gone. Until I was like, no. Let's see. Let's see what we can do with this. I wanted to see if I could do it instead of just giving up. And that was hard. I mean, to train literally with one hand tied behind your back. There's as many exercises I couldn't do that last 6 weeks. That's physically and even more so mentally very, very hard to do. But that's why I took up this sport. I didn't take it up because it's easy. I took it up as a challenge, not only physically. It's a mental challenge. It's like almost like mastery over yourself. When you're in the gym and it's hurting and in pain, your body and your mind screaming out for you to stop. The same thing when you're getting ready for a contest and your body's screaming out for food. You're starving. It's like mastery over oneself almost. So that was the appeal of the sport. So it was just another challenge for me to get over.
And by the time we wound up in Atlanta, Georgia, Dorian Yates, to me, looked kind of like a hot mess. And he just didn't look as dominating as he had the year before, '93. I wasn't in awe. And I knew that if it was going to be close, that the posing round was going to carry me to victory. When it was the last 2 of us standing, I was very confident that this was going to be my time to shine.
Dorian Yates in the center, Kevin Levrone on one side, Shawn Ray on the other.
Even if I was off, the competition only had a chance to beat me in a small amount of poses. Front double bicep, I could possibly be beat. Or abs and thighs, or a side chest maybe, if the other guy was really on and I was, But otherwise, I'm not getting beaten in those poses. My structure and proportions and overall size and condition was just too strong. So yes, I was a little bit off in '94, and if Flex Wheeler had been there and he had been at his best, then I would have had real problems.
When he had came in the contest clearly off with a torn bicep and a bloated stomach.
Shawn Ray at 100% cannot beat a Dorian Yates at 80%.
I was making an observation that everybody in the audience could see, that we have video footage and photos to back up, so that if they're going to reward somebody that comes in off and incomplete with only one arm, then that tells you there's something wrong with the system, not something wrong with me. He's taking food off of my table. When I get on that stage, he's the enemy. He's the one I'm trying to knock out. He is the one supposedly that the judges are saying is setting the standard. The guy's got an enormous back, but what about his shoulders? What about his thigh separation? What about the bloated stomach?
In fourth place, competitor number 20, Paul Dilett. In third place, competitor number 8, Kevin Levrone. In second place, competitor number 7, Shawn Ray.
94. You take second place of the Mr. Olympia.
And for the third straight year, winner of Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates.
But in 94, when I got second, too many people told me that I should have won that contest for me not to believe them. Yet, too many people that I didn't know and did know had me convinced that I was going to win the show. I was in the pinnacle of my career.
That frustration for me turns into power. It fuels each and every one of my workouts. That's why every year, whether I take it on the chin or not, I get up and I come back.
A lot of people don't really know this, but this year I had a lot of problems with injuries and so on, and there was a couple of times I really thought it wasn't going to be possible for me to be here and be competing in the Mr. Olympia, but I persevered, I pushed through, and it makes this victory all the more sweeter. And it reinforces how important the title is to me. And I'll be back next year. I'll definitely be back next year and better than ever.
I was biting down on the bone going, I'm not going anywhere.
But when I came off that stage and when I came back home, it's almost like the hero's welcome. You know, I slayed all these other bodybuilders. I was number 2 in the world. It's not a bad place to be.
It seemed like all the air out of my sail had just disappeared, kind of like the air coming out of a balloon. I shrunk. Dorian was Mr. Olympia for the 3rd consecutive year, and I'm just thinking, do I want to do this for another 6-7 years? I mean, the guy is 5'10", he's 250 pounds, he's not 100%, and he still wins.
After the initial shock wears off, no, I didn't have this Sandow trophy. But what it did do for me was it kept me coming back. I think if I had won the Mr. Olympia, I probably would have walked away because there's nowhere to go but down. Kept me coming back was the pursuit of number 1.
Getting second place in the Olympia, like I said, sucks, right? Because after it's done, you start thinking of all the things that could have happened for your life, your career. We only dream of one thing, and that's the Sandow Trophy.
Now I have to take an introspective look at what I'm doing here on this Mr. Olympia stage. Where's my career going?
Every season he returned, chasing Dorian Yates. He knew Dorian was out there, deep in his dungeon in England. You never saw him, but you felt his presence. Somewhere behind those closed doors, he was working, transforming at every single time. Dorian became the reason, the force behind his evolution.
So naturally, I show up in 1995 and I try to do it all over again.
Dorian Yates in the center, Kevin Levrone on one side, Shawn Ray on the other.
In the standing relaxed pose, he's got me on size. It's just the sheer girth. And that was the 90s was all about the size, the growth.
Side chest. Rear double bicep. Lat spread. Abdominal and thigh. Fourth place, a check of $25,000. Competitor number 8, Shawn Ray. In third place, competitor number 1, Nasser Sonbaty. Second place, that award goes to competitor number 18, Kevin Levrone. Receiving the largest check in bodybuilding history to date, $110.
You know, I got 2, I got 3, I got 4. Surely, never ever was anything that I was interested in. I was just, listen, I'm going to do this one year at a time. As long as I'm enjoying it and I feel like there's something I can do, that's what I'm going to do. But I never had that.
By now, Dorian Yates had 4 Mr. Olympia titles to his name. Four years of dominance and 4 years of no one getting close.
What am I doing? I had to find a way to beat this guy. And the only way I can do it would be presentation. So in '96, I jumped in erroneously into the Arnold Classic.
Competitor number 9, Shawn Ray.
Now, I doubt that we'll ever see another competition where 4 former champions are ever under one roof. Mr. Consistency when it comes to bodybuilding is placed in the top 5 at Mr. Olympia in the last 6 years.
He has placed consistently high in all of the competition. And he's one of those guys that, he's so close to the top always, how on he is and how in shape he is. But he's always so close away, and it's like if one guy slips, he's right in there.
Now means that changing the criteria, go from big ass monsters. And so I thought I'd come back here and give it another shot. And everywhere I go, people like the package. Need a little bit more size. The 90s and they're going for bigger guys. Got to get a little bit bigger.
And I jumped in and boom, 5th place.
That goes to Shawn Ray.
Shawn Ray, devastated.
Very disappointing for him. I think this is very, very disappointing for Shawn Ray because he thought he was going to be up there. He was trying to actually win the title and then to place 5th. It must be extremely disappointing.
This is a tough lineup.
Maybe it's time for the bigger guys. They're all bigger than me. And I said, no, I wouldn't go down rolling over for these guys. Getting 5th place in Arnold Classic in '96 was the best thing that could have happened to me, because I spent the rest of that year eat, sleeping, training, and breathing bodybuilding. I didn't care about my guest posing. I didn't care about my sponsors. I didn't long for a relationship, and I welcomed being alone and isolated, because now it was war. I had to get back to where I needed to be. I headed into '96 with one thing on my mind, and that was Dorian Yates. And I didn't see anything on Dorian. I mean, Dorian won the Olympia and he disappeared. And show up on that Olympia stage as a nightmare for some of us. I mean, because he just kept getting bigger. But this time I wasn't going to buy into the hype. I showed up backstage at the '96 Mr. Olympia with a vengeance.
That year, Shawn brought his best package yet. Every line, every detail dialed in. It was the strongest version of Shawn Ray the world had ever seen.
But I felt confident on the way I looked. I felt Dorian would have to beat me rather than me having to beat Dorian.
One thing was certain, the fight was between Dorian Yates and Shawn Ray. Coming off a 4th place finish at last year's Olympia and a 5th at the Arnold Classic this year, Shawn had changed. The defeats refined him, hardened him, and made him more determined than ever to take the crown. With each pose, he got one step closer. Yates stood his ground. After all, he was the shadow, and shadows don't retreat.
And it was a big snowstorm. Actually, there was no cars on the road. So it probably would have been almost to take a day off that day, but I wouldn't do it. I trudged through that snow, up past my knees to the gym. I got to the gym with the key, nobody was there. Opened the gym, and I thought to myself, you know what? Those fuckers in California right now, they're driving their Porsche, their Ferrari out in the sun, going to the beach. I'm here trudging through the snow, and they're gonna pay for that.
In 5th place, Flex Wheeler. In 4th place, Kevin Levrone. In 3rd place, Nasser, Sonbaty.
And before it was all said and done, it did come back down to me and Dorian.
In second place,
Ray rose to the top, standing among the final two once again.
Shawn Ray. And in first place, Dorian Yates.
And of course, when I heard, and still the champion, basically, Dorian Yates, it was a bitter pill for me to swallow. I was in the shadow of the shadow. Dorian Yates, for me, was the only thing that mattered. He was the guy. He was the reason I was lifting weights. He was getting me out of bed every day, trying to dethrone the champion. Fast forward to '97, because this contest was going to be held in my backyard, Long Beach. And this was going to be where I'm going to take the title once and for all from Dorian Yates. I knew at this show that I was going to bring the best I could bring.
I got about 6 more days to train, trying to come in at 210, and as you can tell from my bags under my eyes, haven't been getting much sleep, put too much into my training.
Nasty now! You're fucking nasty!
The one thing I know, they can't hold me back. They can't hold me back. Progress is going to continue because I control this here.
Still strong! Oh yes!
But right now, confidence-wise, I don't think any of the big guys are as hard or separated as I am. I just hope I get judged fairly. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, it doesn't matter. As long as they judge me fairly, I'll feel like I did my job.
With the Olympia just around the corner, Dorian's preparation was once again under threat. Just 3 weeks before the Mr. Olympia, another injury came his way.
In the center, gentlemen, Dorian Yates.
And in '97, I had another injury, the tricep tendon tear that I had 3 weeks before the contest. And what I really needed to do was take a break and get treatment and get this inflammation down and get it recovered. But because of my personality and the drive, and because I'm at the top and you've got everyone chasing you, you don't really feel like you've got 2 months to do that. So 3 weeks before the contest, I was not able to train at all. No weights.
I just knew one day I would walk away from this career as Mr. Olympia. It just happened to come full circle in that I got second place in '96, and the expectations are there, the changes in the wind. People now want to see size and shape. I think the fans are screaming for something different, basically because the freakiness doesn't last long, it starts to wear off. The challenge has been made, it was set down last year, it was set down in '94, and I think now is as good a time as any. At 32 years old, I think I come full circle, focused, trained hard, and was very, very disciplined. And I know I'm better than last year. So if the champion didn't do his homework, I'm coming to take my title.
Usually that whole year round I've been training, and like I said, I felt super powerful going to the contest. Powerful and confident that even people said that they could feel heat generating off me. They knew, they felt like, in '97 I didn't feel like that. I felt weak, I felt vulnerable. I was on painkillers to be on stage, or, you know, I was just hoping to get through this contest. My tricep tendon apparently was 95% detached. So it was like kind of holding on, by a little thread, and a clash of elbows that sometimes can happen when you're doing the pose down, or too much, I don't know. So I was like, you know, going there very gingerly, hitting the poses, and not my usual positive, aggressive self.
Paul Dilett secured 5th place, with Kevin Levrone finishing ahead in 4th.
In 3rd place, Shawn Ray.
And before it was all done, Nasser Sonbaty and Dorian Yates would be the last two standing. I was relegated to 3rd.
Dorian Yates and Nasser were the last two standing, the first time Nasser had ever come this close.
In 2nd place, Nasser Sonbaty.
So that was, for me, the worst Mr. Olympia. And the guy that came second, Nasser Sonbaty, was in his best shape ever. And a lot of people in the audience probably felt that he should have won.
And in 1st place, Dorian Yates.
Another controversial win for the Shadow. And as fate would have it, Dorian would retire in mid-1998.
After that, I had surgery on the tendon to repair it and got back to training. But it was very obvious that this injury was now like, you know, it was causing some real imbalance, especially on lifting, and it would cause more injuries, and I would go, you know, I wouldn't be able to get back to where I was before, and I would lose the contest because not because somebody was better or that they trained hard, just because I was not able to. So that was the time for me to say, this is it.
After Dorian retired from bodybuilding, Shawn continued his quest to win the Mr. Olympia for 4 more years. Little did he know, these would be the years Ronnie Coleman would take over and set new standards just like Yates. Yates paved the way for even bigger physiques. Shawn never made it into the top 3 again since '97. He placed 5th in '98, 5th in '99, 4th in 2000, and 4th in his final year in 2001.
Look back on my career, there's only 2 guys I never beat. Lee Haney, 8-time Mr. Olympia, and Dorian Yates, 6-time Mr. Olympia. Ronnie Coleman I beat for 5 years before he became Mr. Olympia.
You get what you put in. And when you're done putting in, you turn the page and you channel it in a different direction. I have to justify that what I did was worth doing. I didn't win the Olympia, but who's paying attention to me in the universe if I didn't do what I did?
When I found out that Dorian Yates wasn't the enemy, bodybuilding was something that he just happened to be good at. I realized that he didn't ask to be Mr. Olympia, he believed that he could be, much like myself. And when I realized that the war was over, that Dorian Yates was more of an ambassador to bodybuilding than I knew. Dorian had the weight of a country on his shoulder over in England. Dorian had legions of fans that he represented. And he knew I was coming after something that he coveted. It was his, that's what got him out of bed. Dorian and I could realize that what we did in the time that we did it, it was war.
And persistence, focus, and not giving up.
I can respect what he did because I saw where he came from. He came from less. The genetics weren't as beneficial to him as they were for me. His desire to be Mr. Olympia was stronger than his desire to have a Mercedes and to have a big house and to be in Hollywood. He changed the game. Without Dorian Yates, there's no Shawn Ray. Dorian was a shadow to all of us. He stopped all of us every time we saw him in September. We could change the name from the shadow to the nightmare because that's what he was for all of us. Because there'll never be another Dorian Yates. But without Dorian Yates, I don't believe we have Ronnie Coleman. So what do I have to say about Dorian? I'd say this. As a 6-time Mr. Olympia, he was a great champion. Flawed. Maybe there's a couple titles he didn't deserve. But we all have to have a reason to get out of bed and do what we do. And as a bodybuilder, Dorian Yates gave me reason and he gave me purpose.